Welcome to the Hood Motivator Podcast, where we hustle and motivate and inspire. We got a huge guest today, but before I tell you guys who my guest is, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna show you guys my drip real quick. You know what I'm saying? You guys get the Hood Trophy. It's coming to you soon. Hood Trophy, Hood Motivator gear. Real quick, but I got a good guest coming in. Big J the Barber. Big J the Barber. Let's go, baby. My family.
What up,
How you been? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Great to have you on my show, man. How's everything?
Everything's cool, man.
Good,
Thank
man.
you for the invite for sure on your
Definitely.
platform. I really do appreciate that.
Man, I've been trying to get you for a long time, but I know you've been going through a lot of things and, you know what I'm saying, a lot of celebrations, man. We here to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? But this is Big J the Barber, man. You know, let them know who you are. That's your camera that I want you to look into.
Yeah, Big J the Barber, owner of Razor Edge Barbershop, originally from Los Angeles, California. Also a Navy Army vet, and also a deputy sheriff for Hillsborough County.
Here we go. That's the newest adventure that he's on, and I know he has spoke about it to me a long time ago, prayed about it. I came to the graduation, and now here you are. And I'm so proud of you because where we come from is frowned upon. You know, and I'm glad that you took that huge step to become law enforcement because you're a good guy. And at the end of the day, we need a lot of good people in that field that can change the perspective of what we see in our communities. So we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about Big J the Barber first and your barbershop and everything that you got going on in the community. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, man. So back in the day, I used to work for Boys and Men Barbershop.
Okay.
And it was in University Square Mall. Was one of the prior to that, we was off of Florida and Waters.
Okay.
So I got a good opportunity to work with an owner who actually was more so like an interior decorator. So when I walked into the business, I was like, man, this is nice. You know what I mean? So built a good relationship with him. And the mall, in University Mall, and one of the managers came to us and said, you know, they never seen a ethnic style barbershop inside the mall. So we were one of the first ethnic style barbershop instead of like a Supercuts or, you know, one of the other little corporate barbershops that was always known to be inside of the malls.
Right.
We were one of the first in University Mall to actually open the doors for others to have the opportunity to have a barbershop inside there other than corporate. Did a good little run in there, end up establishing my name as Big J the Barber, cut a couple celebrities, had opportunity to meet a lot of people that I never thought I was going to meet within the Tampa Bay network area. You would think you meet these people in Los Angeles, in New York, Texas maybe, but being a small market in Tampa, was able to meet a lot of good celebrities and establish my name out here. That came to an end, and I decided to open up my own, which is called Razor's Edge Barbershop, Razors with a Z.
Okay.
So right now we've been in business at that location for about 3 years. I got a good staff. Everything been good. Speaking on that, man, I actually came to you about that venture, you know, talked to you about it.
Yep.
Had a little mentorship with you on it. You actually helped me a lot.
God is
you know
good.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that as well.
No, I mean, it's a blessing to even be a part of it. I watch it grow from a seed and from an idea of you being not scared of leaving something that was comfortable with the other barbershop and working for someone and taking over his other locations to you actually starting it during COVID. So that was a point of you believing in yourself, and that's what my platform is about: is understanding your capabilities and believing in yourself. You believed on yourself. And not only did you do that, you acted on it. And now look at it. It's one of the #1 barbershops in Tampa. You still have the clientele plus more. And you're the owner, which you already was an owner, but you don't even cut every day. You cut on Saturdays now, right?
Yeah. Like,
see, look at that. So
Saturdays
now,
and Thursdays.
So you have your clientele that you will come in and on your chair and cut the people that you want to cut.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. Instead of working every day and having to depend on it, you got your employees, you got your shop, you living your life now. And I love that because that's what business is all about. Because you gave these other employees, you gave them hope too.
Yeah.
So and I remember the staff that you had before and now the staff you have now, I think it's perfect. I see it online. I haven't stopped through because I don't go to school in person no more. I go to school online because Kaiser is right there up the street. I used to stop in and come see you. But I see it, and I see it thriving, and I'm so proud of you, man. And don't never let nobody take that away. And saying that you can only do one thing, because not only are you an owner of a barbershop that's thriving, you're a deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, man. Becoming a deputy sheriff was a goal of mine. It was actually a dream because my father, my family's from Belize, if people who don't know, Belize, which is in Central America, underneath Honduras.
Yeah.
My dad had to actually get papers to come over to the United States. My mom is a nurse, was a nurse at the time, and she, got her master's degree. So in Los Angeles at Cal State University.
There you go, Cal State.
So we was in South Central Los Angeles. That's where I was born and raised. Grew up, and my dad always wanted to be a part of law enforcement, but didn't really have the education, didn't really have the paperwork in order to do so. So he did the next best thing, which is when Los Angeles worked for Bank of America as the security guard out there. You know the huge Bank of America downtown?
Yeah.
And so he did that for quite some time. And then when we moved down here to Tampa, he ended up working for security for the courthouse.
Okay.
Because, back then, ACSO had the courthouse, but they still had private security within there.
Right.
So he did the next best thing. And I always told him, I say, hey, Dad, I'm going to make sure that I wear that uniform one day. You know what I'm saying? Just to show that I was capable of doing so, and also to cover one of your dreams and admiration and dreams and what's the word I'm looking for? Goals, yeah, attainable goals that you want to do.
Right.
And I wanted to do so before you passed away. Unfortunately, I couldn't do it.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm a man of my word, so I wanted to make sure I just fulfill that goal. On top of that, man, so you touched on something earlier when we spoke. Being in Los Angeles. Law enforcement is looked upon very, very bad based on certain situations that they was involved in, like the Rodney King and all the other stuff. But in the neighborhood I grew up in, you have your goods and your bads of anything.
Everything.
And we had some good law enforcement that came through the neighborhood. And I don't know if you remember the times where they give you little baseball cards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember that, yep.
And they give you little baseball cards that were signed from like Darryl Strawberry.
I think we're telling our age.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right?
Yeah.
And I always looked at them cats because when growing up, I never knew a deputy sheriff.
Right.
I knew of highway patrol because of Chips.
Right, yeah, Chips.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They used to pretend me and my little brother when he was alive. Used to pretend like we were Chips. You know what I'm saying? Riding on the bike. But we always knew LAPD. Mm-hmm. Everybody know who LAPD is.
Yeah.
So for those individuals that come into the neighborhood and actually, show face, shake hands, you know what I mean, rub elbows with us, it kind of showed me a different lifestyle of them people human too.
Right.
And so I wanted to be one of those people who make the change to touch the inner communities and be like, hey, look, we can look and act the way that we look and act, but at the same time, we can make a difference within our community as well.
Definitely. And not only that, not to skip over that, you went into the Navy. So you did something, the same equivalent, but on a different front.
Yeah.
And you served our United States Navy in that capacity and understanding that gets you ready for your preparatory command for the deputy sheriff. So you always been a part of that. And I tell people all the time, I say, growing up in California is different. And it's probably like, I know you guys always like, JR, California ain't that much different, but the gang politics is. And when you're a young age, 7, 8, 9, you already know where you want to be from, who you want to be, and who you want to be represented by. Yeah. But I remember going into the military, and before I joined, I had a couple of uncles and some homies that tried to talk me down from it because the way our environment is in California, right? And, to touch on that, they didn't know what I was about to go embark on, but they know they didn't want me to be a part of the military because they thought it was part of the same thing as police officers, which police officers get a bad rap in the communities where we come from, the black and brown communities. But I let them know after I served my country, did everything I did in combat, came back, I said, what if one of your homies killed me and I was a police officer?
Yep.
How would you feel? They don't know that I'm from Long Beach. They don't know I'm your homie. I'm a little older. What if they just shooting in uniform? So all these politics you guys have and the beef between the streets and the police, that's a man underneath that uniform.
Yep.
You don't know who know that man. And it took you a lot to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm from California. Yeah, I'm from LA. Yeah, I might get flack, but I'm going to live my dream, not because of me, but my father, and put it together. And now look at you. Yeah. If you never did deputy sheriff, you was already known out here because of the barbershop. But the fact that you went back to serve at the time, a period right now, and you're doing it at the height, and you make it look good too. Like right now, I'm gonna tell you, I tell people all the time, I'm a product of my environment, but I make sure I'm the message I bring. If you're gonna go don these uniforms, police, military, look the part, because you're not yelling or telling me to do anything if you can't do a push-up.
Facts.
If you can't look like you're gonna uphold the law, because I can. And if you don't know, I know a lot of bit about my tactics and how to handle myself and the protocols of the law enforcement. And if you don't look like it, look at you. If you get out the car, hey, sorry, what you need? You need my license? You need my registration? What you need me to do, man? I'm going to comply to everything you got going on because I don't know if you might be an old-style police officer that'll take off his, here, I'm putting my weapon down. I'm going to get with you. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's funny you say that, man. I'm going to tell you a story about a call I went on not too long ago.
Yeah.
This individual, we went to he had a warrant.
Yeah.
Went to his house. He wasn't there, but we knew what he drove. And we know that he wasn't going to take long to come back. So me and a colleague of mine, we waited. And lo and behold, a car comes around, and we see it. I tap my guy. I was like, hey, I think that's Buddy right there.
Yeah.
So he pulls around, and then instead of going to his parking space, he pulls up to where the mailbox are, which is outside the community.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing him. He looking through the rear view. I'm looking dead ahead. So I pull up on him.
Yeah.
And I open my door and I get out. But Buddy looks, and he looked, and he just was like, right? But I didn't know the reason why he did that at first, right? Make a long story short, I'm taking him to jail, and he said, hey, man, I'm not going to lie. He says, I actually was thinking about running. He said, but, boy, when you got out of the car, he said, oh, nah, bro. He said, you got it. He says, I ain't even, he said, this dude look like he ain't finna play no games. And verbatim what he said,
See?
bro. Verbatim. He said, man, I looked at you. He said, man, your big ass got out the car, bro. He said, you look like you wasn't going to play no games, bro.
Come on, man.
Here you go. You got it.
Yeah.
And so it's funny you say that, man. You got to look the part, play the part, because almost every single time I go on scene on something, somebody, either A, they know me,
Right.
or B, and that's another funny story, or B, they be like, bruh, you a big dude, man.
Yeah.
We know you hitting the gym, which anybody can hit the gym,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'd rather de-escalate than escalate anytime.
Right.
You know what I'm
And you
saying?
look hella professional. I saw you, I think you had posted a picture, you had the glasses on. I'm like, you wearing the hell out that uniform.
Appreciate
And
it.
I know you make it look good. I was thinking about shaving off my beard. But then I saw you with yours. I was like, hold on, man. They might let me get away with it.
They approved it, bro. They approved the beard.
You know what I'm saying? I saw
your boy
I'm
number
like,
10, they have
I
it.
saw him like, he got the beard and everything. He make it look good, though. But that's how I like it because we are seeing before we act. We act, right? So if you do hop out or you walk up, ain't nobody don't want no. Not because you the tough guy. You are the message you bringing. Hey, I'm coming in peace. You know I'm law enforcement. I need you to comply to these directions. That's it. And if, I got the camera's watching you, so please don't make me escalate anything. Right.
The last thing we want to do.
Yeah. And I'm proud of you because you doing that in a city where you already have a reputation of being a barber. But not just any barber. You cut all the celebrities. You cut all the wrestlers. Your son is a famous wrestler. You got all these clientels, and you don't mind showing up saying, hey, I'm on work right now. I am Big J, the deputy sheriff. I'm not the barber, so don't come up to me, you know what I'm saying, trying to play no games with me or let me stay professional. Let me do my job. I see you when I get off. I know you done probably ran into situations like, I mean, you might give him a handshake, but dude, back up. I got to handle the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's plenty of times where I walk up into a situation where, and you know, time tells because there's some people that actually are homeless now that was never homeless before when I was in the barber game about maybe 15 years ago that I run into this day that have to, you know, put hands on and be like, hey, man, like in my mind, I'm like, damn, what was the switch? You know what I'm saying? What happened to you? Because you wasn't like this before. And so when I come in and encounter with, say, for instance, one of my sergeants or corporals have somebody in handcuffs and I walk up on scene and they laugh because it's starting to be a common thing now when they're like, yo, Big J, what you doing in the sheriff uniform? You know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of comical amongst my colleagues because almost every time we go on scene, somebody recognizes who I am.
Yeah.
And now they be like, dang, I never guessed. Matter of fact, yesterday I was in the gas station. And a buddy of mine, you know, we get real familiar with our area, so I make sure I touch base with all my gas station guys, their owners and stuff, so they know that I'm here. I was in there, and they said, hey, man, he said, bro, you used to cut hair, right? I said, yeah, I still do. He said, you know what, man? He said, man, you a cool dude, bro. Y'all never had issues and problems with you. You always was A1. You kept it real and 100. So congratulations on wearing that uniform. I know you uphold it very well because of the man that I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And not, bro, I kid you not. Remember I talked to you? I said, bro, I thought I was going to get a lot of slack.
Right.
I thought people was going to be like, oh, you sell out.
Yeah.
You this, that. Bro, I've got more love by getting accepted to do this job even compared to being a barber, bro. I kid you not. Even from cats from back home. You know?
told me. I remember you told me about the phone call that you had with your family members, and you know, some of them still think, oh, and it was a challenging, and we had the conversation about how they was going to view you, and I told you just keep pushing on. But you had a conversation with your homies back then, and they, you know, you was telling me about the politics, and I said, man, don't even worry about it, because at the end of the day, you are who you are with that uniform on or with it off. So if you're a good guy with it on, you still going to be a good guy. But if you're a bad guy with it on, we know you're a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you've been a solid person from day one, from Barber to everything you have done in your life in Tampa and in Los Angeles. So it's just like, hey, bro, you're not feeding me, so I got to feed myself. And you didn't even know this was part of my dream. I've been wanting to do this. So because you never took the time to get to know me. You thought that you was going to meet me and just be a barber. No, at the end of the day, this is what I love to do. And you look good doing it. And you look happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Finally, like, you really look peaceful doing it. Like, hey, I just do my job. I do what I got to do. I don't know how many hours you work, but I know you grind. But you do it. You go home, you take care of your family, and then you go to the barbershop. Like, you make it look good.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
How's your family doing right now?
Family's great, man. Son is doing good. Daughter's doing good.
I'm trying to get him on my show.
My son?
Yeah, I want you to holler at him for me. You know what I'm saying? He's big time now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Especially
big
when
time.
you see this, you'll be like, oh, Pops, you know, you should have told me I would have came.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, you got your own segment, my boy.
Yeah, and I see that your daughter, she's Navy.
Yep. So she actually got a chance. She liked her first
Duty station?
duty station, being in Norfolk, which so happened to be my first duty station.
In Norfolk? Okay.
And so I ended up getting her a good job so she can actually transition out if she didn't like it.
Yeah.
Do something comparable within, you know, being stateside.
Yeah.
She liked it so much that she re-enlisted, and now she's going to be stationed in Hawaii next.
When she leave?
She actually leave this month.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What part?
February.
Honolulu's?
Yep.
Port Harbor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you been
Oh,
there?
Stumping Green. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know how it is.
25th ID, all that.
Okay, then look at you.
Yeah.
But she actually got to get a top secret clearance.
Yeah.
So she got to finish up that in order to get her top secret clearance, which is good to have. And then she can't wait. She decided they already started. They took all her furniture and her car and shipped it over there.
PCS and already. That's good. How many years she been in?
Now. So far, 4.
I gotta get. I have another friend that has a daughter in the Navy, and I gotta get their last name. She's stationed in Norfolk too, so I want to see if they know each other. It's a
Okay.
small world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's good, man. Tell me about everything else. What else you got going on in life?
No, just been trying to just stay focused on learning this job, man. This job is actually, you know, you see it on TV and think that it's just nonstop action and impact, and this is what you're going to be about. But it's a lot of mental. It's a lot of mental, and you got to make sure that you dig deep with some of these people that you encounter if you want to be a good police officer. You know what I'm saying? You could be a shitbag, but that's with anything, military and stuff. But if you want to be good at what you do, which is that's what we strive to be, is just learning the back. We had this conversation, learning the backside of things, the admin work, all the paperwork. See, a lot of people think like, oh man, police officers, they just want to do is just grab you up and arrest you, this, that, and the third, bro.
Y'all write a lot. Reports all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's the last thing we want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to write this up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Y'all write reports on everything. Y'all write more than, because I'm in my doctoral class. I write a lot. I know y'all write the same amount. I know y'all write a lot, and then you got to send it in. Then you got to get approvals. I know the logistics. And then if you get it, because what it is teaching you how to cover your back. If something comes down, I don't know if in the department of what you guys have, but I think in the police department, Los Angeles, I forget what that department is that investigates their cops. What is it?
IA?
IA, yeah. Internal Affairs. So you got to make sure your paperwork is on point. And not because you're reading it, whoever reads it can articulate what you're trying to say for the arrest, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not a police officer.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and dictate the verbiage to make sure that it stands, right? It
Absolutely.
sticks.
Any mishap by a hyphen missed in someone's name, or maybe a letter that's misplaced, or even a date or a time frame that might be off, all that could make a difference with the case be thrown out. So we got to make sure that we articulate ourselves well enough to let the state attorneys know, okay, this is what's going on, this is what happened, this is the reason why this person got arrested, or this is the reason why this person did not get arrested.
Okay.
You know, so not only that we got to articulate the reason of why we made an arrest, but we also got to articulate the reason why we didn't make an arrest.
Right.
Because then all of a sudden it falls back on us, because Tom, Dick, and Harry sit there and be like, well, hey, I made this, I called you guys for a reason. Y'all always show up, but y'all never do anything. So what's the purpose of even calling you guys? But at the same time, they don't understand that we got to make sure that we got to see if a crime was committed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we got to make that instantly.
On the spot.
Based on the severity of the issue. Now, we can slow things down if we know that this side is okay, that side is okay, no one's hurt, no one needs EMS, no one needs, so we can slow things down to try to figure things out. But then sometimes when we figure things out to say, okay, well, a crime really hasn't been committed here, all of a sudden we're the bad guy.
Right.
So we're the bad guy if we make a decision on saying the crime hasn't been committed, and we're the bad guy if a crime has committed and we took somebody to jail.
Man, that's crazy. And you got to make sure that you keep on point, because your bosses make sure you guys on point, so y'all won't be representing them wrong, and they will not be representing your division wrong, right? That's how, right?
Correct.
It's okay. Certain echelons in there. I was at the graduation, so I was looking at everything, observing. I'm like, man, I might have to go do this test right here. Go be with Big JB. But God has a plan for all of us, and I think that's totally what God wanted you to do in your gift. And I love the fact that you did it, and you did it at our age. We in our 40s.
Yeah,
you didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? But you did it because in your heart you knew that you couldn't just let life go by without trying to at least achieve this. And I remember that when you started your journey, you went through a bunch of dilemmas, but you finally got it.
Yeah,
and I'm proud of you, man, because when you told me, it's like, hey, it's happening. And then I sent one of our other homies to you so you can give him advice. Sam.
Yep.
I think he's in school right now.
Is he?
I think so. I don't want to speak.
Yeah.
I think that's the last time we spoke was in December. The class was starting in January.
Oh, I was like, that's what's up.
I think it was LAPD or something like in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I told him. I said, he said one in the outskirts and then one in LAPD. I said, bro, you got to do LAPD.
You got to, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You look like you would be LAPD.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
Know
you know what I'm saying? And he probably will get the same because he's from Long Beach, so he know people out there too.
Yeah,
so it's
you
like,
already know how
okay,
it go.
there it is. Might as well do it and do it at the highest right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
and
saying?
then get a pension, bro.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who? Some of the homies gonna pay us when we get old.
Right. Nobody's paying you that. Nah, you don't get no stripes. That's why I wear this shirt and I want to be able to gift you one because you are a hood trophy. You came from the hood. You did something outside the hood, and you always recognize that you came from it.
Yep.
And that's why I tell people that I'm a hood trophy, not because I gang bang with the best of them, because they out there still. But I did all that. Went to my military, served the Army, retired out the military. Now I'm a motivational speaker, life coach. I go into the school systems, Compton, Long Beach, and speak the positivity to these kids and show them what they can, give them another option. Right. And that's what you're doing right now. You're giving the kids another option of, hey, I know what you heard about law enforcement, but this is what we're trying to change. And we can't talk about it if you're not the change. You are the change. You went inside of it, and you're being the best that you can be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's good. You got a whole little crew, too.
What's that?
You got a whole little.
Yeah,
I saw you when I came to your birthday party.
You know how it goes, bro. They always say, like Snoop Dogg said it the most, man. You can't elevate without people falling off. You can't always just bring the people who want to come with you. Got to want to come with you. You know what I'm saying? They got to elevate with you. But if those who still stuck on the bottom and they don't want to bring themselves up or elevate with you, then unfortunately people start to fall off, and you gain new people who's actually at the level that you are now. Now, those people who are at the level where you are now, say you continue to elevate, they're going to have to continue to elevate too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to fall off too.
Y'all pushing each other.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be in this agency if it wasn't because of some people who look like me and you. You know what I mean? Let's be real. It's just one of those things where I've encountered many different people, all walks of life, and I've been lucky to actually have befriended a lot of people who don't look like us.
Right.
But at the same time, in this go round, because I tried to be with this agency since 2002 when I got out the military.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't get that opportunity back then. You know what? I'm glad that I didn't because
You wasn't ready.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was a hothead still.
Yeah.
I would have went on some of these calls and bam some of these dudes up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
roughed him up. Yeah.
But now, as life experience I've gained and the age that we are now, I've actually understood how to operate and how to maneuver and do things the right way. I was fortunate to see a recruiter who was inside the recruiting station for that agency that looked like me and you that helped me out. Then I sat down in one of my oral boards, a major who looked like me and you, who actually heard my story, listened to what I had to say, gave me the opportunity to go ahead and get passed on to the next level. Then a colonel who looked like me and you looked at my accolades and said, "Man, I wonder who is this guy. Let me give him an opportunity to see if he can fulfill, going through the academy." 'Cause I still had to go through the academy
Right.
and do what I was supposed to do, pass all the tests and go through the physical parts of it, which was kind of tough for me too at 45 running with these 20-year-olds. But if it wasn't for them, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, I don't think I probably would have got granted the opportunity to be a part of this agency. And that's me being 100. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to the people that gave me the opportunity to look, not only just look at paper, because, people will look at paper and just because of one mistake or a couple mistakes you made and think that you can't overcome those mistakes and be a better person from it and just be like, okay, that paper says this, but not meet the individual and see who that person really is, and they'll pass it along. I'm glad I was granted the opportunity to see these people face to face, for them to learn who I am as a person, see how I carry myself, and to say, okay, this cat on paper represents a totally different person, more so outside of this paper. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will go ahead that hire individuals will look at paper and just take it at paper value instead of just actually sitting down with the individual that they see on paper applying for the position and be like, okay, who is this person? What's this person about? Where he came from? What's his drive? What's his motivation? You know what I mean? Who is he today compared to what this paper said he was in the past? So, I was thankful to get granted the opportunity from these individuals who seen me more than just a piece of paper and seen me as a person, an individual, and allowed to be a little bit invested in my story to make sure that I fulfill another part of my story.
And I love that too because I think that's how the life is supposed to be, right? Yeah, what I've done before doesn't articulate what I'm doing now.
Facts.
Because if you judge me on who I was from Long Beach or even my bankruptcy, I'm not the same person I was back then. I'm told, and I grew from it. And I think that a lot of people, they stop at certain things and they let it get to them, right? And it got to me too. A lot of trials and tribulations. But if you push past it, someone will see a light. And that's the message because the people, God had you go at this time for the people to look at you that look like us to believe in you, right? Because we always beat each other up. Oh, he ain't. Look what you just said.
There it is.
No, I'm a living witness. God put me in his path, and this person that looked like me, and this person that looked like me, and this person, they all collectively believing in me, and all I had to do was go pass a test. And look how many times you tried. Because I remember before that time you had tried. And God was like, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I got an accident.
Yeah, not yet. Wait.
And then COVID.
Yeah. And now you're ready. And that's what it is. You went a long way, but you went a long way to that objective, but you went the wrong way. God brought you back this way. And now the way that you see it now, if you never told nobody that you joined, when you joined, they would have thought you already been in that long, right? Because that's how you look there. Right. I'm looking for the stripes on. I'm like, this guy, he moving fast right now. You know what I'm saying? And I love it because it's like, I don't know, man. I might want to go do it. I can fit a little juice. I'm like, nah, stay motivational. When he need me to go to a school and motivate, I'll be right there. But until then, I don't think I can because, man, I got sometimes I do have a lot of dark energy sometimes because of the experiences I had in combat. You know what I'm saying? So I try to channel that into positivity, and I don't think that putting me into direct conflict with that. Well, I would do good with paperwork because that's what I do right now. But conflict, I would be looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Where is it? Where is it? I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, I'm so happy that you're doing that, and I know that it takes a lot of stress off your mental because you're doing something that you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And now too, your wife, she's a realtor now, right? She own her own.
She a broker too.
Look at that. And that's within the time, like within 5 years of us trying to figure out our after during COVID after and moving around, and now we're totally different people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love it because it's for positivity. And then now that you're, you know what I'm saying, you're excelling, y'all y'all together as a team, y'all been a team with, but now it's like, hey, look at this is what this family's about, and we pushing forward. You with us or without?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I love it. You know what I'm saying? And you always welcome me, and we got some mutual friends like Jimmy and Danny. You know what I'm saying? I see you all. Like, Danny Alvarez, man, he's, you know what I'm saying, he's a stellar dude, military, airborne. He's doing a lot in the community right now too. So I know that he put in a lot of good word too when you went to. He wrote you a letter, right?
No, Danny actually wrote me a letter.
That's what I thought.
Yep,
He wrote you a letter of
sure
recommendation.
did.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah. Shout out to Danny Alvarez.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get him on one day. You know what I'm saying? I was working closely with him when I was doing security back in the day. But you know what I'm saying? I had to get myself back together. But shout out to Danny Alvarez. Shout out to who else we know mutual? Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? We got to get Jimmy in here. Jimmy doing a lot of great things with the military. Who else we got to get in here? We got to get your wife on here. Just get her a segment on here. Get Kai. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Khalil,
Because he's doing this wrestling thing.
My son, and that's the thing, man. And not for nothing, bro. You know, you always throw flowers in everybody else's way, but I looked at your journey, man, and I seen that from day one when we met, our energy instantly caught on together. We've seen each other in passing. Always wondered, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I could be wrong. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I always wondered, like, damn, what he about? And you
always.
Wondered, like, what I was about. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
But when we end up meeting, you know what I mean, finally conversating, energy was off the chain. And that's why I tell people, too, the culture, people are like, oh, LA this, New York this, blah, blah, blah. The culture of Los Angeles is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, would you ever like to move back? No, hell no, I would like to move back.
No.
But at the same time, I was granted the opportunity to be born and raised there and gain access to the culture.
Yes.
I would never turn that away because the culture is what made me and raised me.
Right.
And I applaud that because I'm different. And I appreciate the difference that I am compared to others. You know what I mean? Me and you the same because we came from that same cloth.
Right.
And I applaud you for everything that you've been through, dog, because I seen from where you came, what you built. I used to sit in your office and be like this, man. I'd be like,
man,
this thing nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to look at all the accolades and be like, hey, boy, I see you now. And then the mishaps.
Yeah.
And then how you handled it. And I kid you not, like you said, you had your dark moments, but at the same time, you didn't allow yourself to get to that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I applaud you for that, bro. Because I've been watching. I watch. Trust me, I watch. And I see how you maneuver, and you motivate me to actually continue on to do things that I was scared to do as well. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody get nervous to do something, but at the end of the day, is what you do with that nervousness and how you conduct business and how you decide to put people around for you to make whatever your goals and dreams are a reality.
Right.
You know? So, you know, shout out to you, dog, for being in my life to show me that the impossible is possible.
Right.
Based on being, you know what I'm saying, how we look, the tattoos, the beards, how we talk. You know what I mean?
Right.
People get intimidated by just our voice for some reason. And I'm like, bro, in my mind, I'm like, I don't sound like that. You know what I mean? People like, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like,
no,
what?
I'm not.
I don't do that.
I'm
you know
cool.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people, I guess, take me, they get intimidated by it.
Right.
And it is what it is. I'm a kind person, man, until you push me to be something else. But at the same time, man, back on you again, I seen everything and the way you at now, bro, 100%, man. I appreciate you, bro, and I'll be watching every single step that you take. And this ain't even it, bro. It's gonna continue to go on from here.
Right.
I wanna be able to travel with you somewhere.
Let's do it.
And see exactly who you motivate and who you touch to make a difference in this work. All it does take is one.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So, you know, I wanted to say that on your platform, that I appreciate you. I'm glad that I met you. I appreciate everything you did for me in order to help me with my shop, too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because that's not gone. You know what I mean?
Right. And I appreciate you too because, I don't do it for the acknowledgments. And, when I went through my hard time, and, it kind of makes me emotional because you were one of the only ones that stood right. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because we had a lot of mutual friends that, once I went through it, I remember one time you told me that some dude actually, like, you still mess with him? I was like, that's my family. What you talking about? Like, you got my back when I'm not even there. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't understand, right?
Yep.
Even my sister was like, Big J, he always look mean. I'm like, nah, he's not mean at all. Because, my big sister, so she was like, he looks mean. I'm like, he's not mean at all. But people always think that of us, that we have that characteristic, which is not. It's just actually something that we built from California. It's a brick wall. It's kind of like, hey, don't mess with me. I'm not messing with you, but I'm cool if you come in peace.
Yes.
I'm really cool.
Yes.
And I'm really approachable if you cool with me and respect me. But if you're not, the same look that you think that I'm having, I'm about to give it to you.
Facts.
And that's it. But like I said, you was the only person that didn't judge me off of what social media was saying because you knew the truth. You came to me and asked me, I said, bro, that's not even the truth. But I told you exactly what was happening. And it happened in a domino effect. But back then I took it personal. Now I just knew that was God removing everything away from my life. Because I did say that prayer. God, remove everything that's not for me. He took my whole company. He took clients. He took friends. 400 people, removed it. In a fashion to a point to where I was embarrassed. But God was like, you asked me to remove it, right? It's not for you.
Right.
It's not for you. So stop trying to fight it. And the people that's for you is going to come around. The heart that you have. And the fact that you said that to me on my platform, that makes my heart warm because everything I do for people is not because I don't want nothing back from it.
Right.
Just know that as cancers, we have a huge heart. And I think that's one of our biggest downfalls is we have a huge heart and sometimes works for us, but sometimes it hurts us because we would always give when we hurting. I still gave at my lowest moment and people didn't even know I was low. And you too, when you were struggling with trying to get the barbershop to have revenue. I remember that, and I'm like, damn, how can I help him? How can I understand that, okay, JR, I did this part, but how can we get clientele? And then all of a sudden, God moved this people out of your life, and your barbershop started to excel. And all of a sudden, God put you in this position where you could be a deputy sheriff, and you took off. Now it's like, all right, everything I manifested and prayed for is right here.
Yeah, it's like, what else?
What's next?
Yeah.
And what's next for you?
Yeah. Right now, it's just, I'm just trying to, prime example, I got pulled in by some of my supervisors at the sheriff's office, and they talk really, they uplift me very well, and I just tell them, like, I'm here, happy to be here, and wherever God wants me to be within the agency or wherever, I'm in open arms for wherever he wants to take me next, because there's not, and I look back at it as some friends and some colleagues that taught me, hasn't been something that I wanted to do that I have not done, if that makes sense. Like something that I wanted to attain that I haven't gotten or I haven't done, you know what I mean? It's like if I wanted to work at this job, I got it. If I wanted to do a certain thing, I did it. If I wanted a certain vehicle, I went for it. If I wanted a certain motorcycle, I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just certain things. So I challenge myself sometimes, but not so far-fetched to be like, okay, it's so not attainable.
Right.
But it gives me a challenge to get it. So I'm not sure what's next for me as of yet, but I hope that whatever is in the near future benefits me and my circle.
Wow.
Because it's not just me. I don't enjoy things by myself. I would love to enjoy things with my circle.
Right.
But at the same time, like me and you both know, I'm a Libra. So if I happen to be by myself, I'm content with it too.
Right.
Yeah. But at the same time, where you see yourself, what's next for you?
Man. Well, I didn't tell you that I made top 50 speakers in the world to watch on 2025 on LinkedIn.
Nice.
I just got I got a TED Talk coming up. I got a couple of books I'm about to drop, like your wife. She dropped some books. And God told me I'm going to be speaking in front of 50,000 people this year, 50,000. So I'm the Hood Motivator. This series of my podcast is called The Hood Trophy because I wanted to spotlight you. And God told me this year, wash, rinse, and repeat. Do the same thing I did last year, and everything is about to start catching fire. I am my brand. I brand myself just like I did with my last company, but this is who I am. I go around life coaching, motivating, and I'm happy.
That's what's up.
God is good. I'm not worried about too much of a lot of things, but I'm just pushing forward. I'm in my doctoral class. I graduated 2027, and I'll be Dr. McIntyre in 2027, and we'll celebrate that. Because I don't like to,
My boy early.
See, he know, like everybody know, if you know JR, and you're really close to me, what time do I go home?
Oh, man, my boy in by 9.
By 9, man. They used to make a whole lot of fun of me because we go out, and I look at my watch. It's 11:45, 12 o'clock. I tell them once, I'm out of here. They look up and I'm gone, right? I'm gone. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to be in the house because you know what happens when it gets dark out there. You're a police, you know what I'm saying? You're a police officer, so you know the drama that it brings. And I don't want to be around where I got to turn into that werewolf.
Yeah.
And now the full moon is out, and I'm out. Either I'm hunting or I'm hunting, and I got to go home. I got to go home.
The only time you stayed out late is when you tried that old fashioned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it was crazy is too. It was a sheriff truck across the street, and I'm like, what is that big J in there? I had went out. What is this? February? No, this is January. I stepped out to go see Funny Marco. I think that was in November.
Oh, that dude funny for sure.
Got into an altercation at that club that you took me to. That old girl work at. She used to own.
Oh, Lit.
Yeah, it wasn't even because of me. It was some girl that liked me and her new boyfriend. And it was crazy, man. But nothing happened. I just smiled. I had my hands in my pocket because I knew what I could have done. But the security that was in there all used to work for me.
I remember I told you.
Right? Yeah, they all used to. It was funny because I don't step out, and when I
Right.
stepped out, that's what happened. And I said, you know what? This is why I don't go out
Right.
because I don't need this type of drama because
Right.
I'm by myself. I was with my girl manager, my girl cousin, me and her. And a situation like that happened.
Should have called me.
Nah, I didn't want to bring you involved in that. You know what I'm saying? I just smiled and, it was not, honestly, it wasn't not a threat.
Right.
But if I was 2 years ago, you probably wouldn't have been picking me up.
Yeah.
So I just thank God and got up out the way. I just smiled at the situation like, okay.
This was recent?
Yeah, November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you stepped out.
Yeah, I didn't even tell you because I knew you was probably working, but I didn't want to bring you involved. But I saw one of the trucks across the street, but I'm like, you know what? I respect everybody, but I'm not gonna get off on this dude right here. I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna relax, keep my hand in my pocket, let him keep wolfing and go about my
I remember
way.
that time we went with some of your homies that came down.
Oh,
yeah, that time too.
Exactly. Yeah, see, yeah. So it's just like certain events that happen that it's always. If I'm there, and I don't want that, you know what I'm saying? But when we went out with Jimmy, it was good. Remember we had our tux on? Yeah, that was good. We took pictures, we had fun.
But it was a different event.
It was.
You know
It was.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I don't be going out like that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start. God told me to start celebrating more my little wins. So whenever you call me to do something, if you have time, I'm gonna come show my face. I told Jimmy I owe him one. I was supposed to be there for Christmas, but I wasn't there. But I told him I owe him one. But God is good. We here. We made it to this point. 2025 is a year of completion. You are, man. I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate
and
that,
keep
man.
going, man. Don't stop because a lot of people is watching you. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe your youngest son is watching. You never know. He looks just like you. Don't know what he wants to do. He does. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
So you
that.
never know what he wants to do in his life, and he may want to take this route or this route, but you done took them all, so you can point him down the right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly why I did it, man, because even my son is 24 right now, and I told him, I say, I want all my kids to understand. I say all and only 3.
Yeah.
But I say I want them to understand that, hey, look, despite me being in my 40s and despite me being comfortable where I was at, I was making real good money. Real good money. Matter of fact, I just had this conversation with you not too long ago. I was wearing real good money. I was content. I was making my own schedule, doing whatever I want to do, take my time, my days off if I wanted to. Bro, I haven't taken a vacation in over 16 years, bro. Never taken a vacation. If I had to fly out, it would have been like for an event, a graduation or something, fly out, to fly my butt right back in to go to work.
Yeah.
Me taking this deputy sheriff's position, I lost probably about $65,000 a year. Because again, I'm not out there cutting hair like I used to. I'm only there one day or one day out of the week.
Right.
And trying to cut my
Your
main
regulars, yeah,
clientele. And then on top of that, a lot of people's like, oh, okay, well, you're doing good with the shop. Well, the shop money is going directly to shop bills.
Yeah.
So me going to this agency and doing this position that I have is definitely not because of the money.
Right.
And like I told you before, and other people, like, it's a calling.
Right.
Not too many people could actually be a police officer.
No.
Especially in this day and age where it's just, we're talked about, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I mean? And even the people that I encounter, I try to give them a different attitude from what they probably experienced in the past. But at the same time, what I've noticed is that sometimes they take the kindness for weakness and they still only see the uniform, not the person inside of the uniform.
Right.
So regardless of the case, I want to make a difference. I want to make sure that the people that I encounter is not so much of afraid of me being in the uniform or the uniform itself, but at the same time able to be like, hey man, that encounter I had with that police officer was a great one. There are some good ones out there, man. I appreciate him for that.
Right.
You can only change one person at a time.
Right.
So as long as I know that I'm trying to make a difference and God knows that I'm out here and my heart is pure to make that difference, then I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah, you can sleep good at night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're
But
out here doing it.
At the same time, when God knows that my heart is pure and I have to bam somebody up,
Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm
You
sleep
sleep
well
good
with it
too.
too.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know what? Regardless of the situation, you got to come home to your family, and you know what you're supposed to do. You know your protocols, and you know at the end of the day, your spidey senses are going to kick in. And you got to do what you got to do. I pray for you every night.
Appreciate
because
that.
it's not safe. But you out there, and I believe you're the best person that you could be out there. And why not have you? But I pray for you because it's just like it's so much scary stuff out there, and you have to be sometimes in the mental aspect when you get into altercations doing police work. Because my uncle was a police, you got to leave that mental there. So that's why I created. Remember when you first met me, Tactical Jr. Because when I got into him, I can do that type of job. And when I came home, I got out of that avatar. Now I created the Hood Motivator, so when I go life coach or go speech, I do what I got to do. When I come home, I'm just Daddy or JR.
Right.
That's it. Because at the end of the day, you got to create them vehicles for you. When you get ready to walk out of the house, you know your number one job is to come back home safe.
Yes.
Regardless.
Yeah.
You know that because Giselle, she ain't having it no other way. Your kids ain't having it no other way. And your friends, the family, the ones that love you like me, hey, what happened? I'll be damned because we get that call because it's a lot of people that's gonna go ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? We'll start the fire. But we know that you're the best person out there because you're protected by God. And you know if you get into a situation, you know that you know what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because you're trained and you look the part and you are the part. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
So
Yeah.
just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Look in the camera right there and tell people where we can find you and all your social medias.
Okay. Yeah, so you can find me at Big J the Barber, Bigjay. You got to spell out Jay because people, for some reason, they always put a big and then J. So it's Big J the Barber, which is my Instagram. What other social media I use? I really don't use Facebook no more. I really don't use Twitter. So my only platform is Big J the Barber. If you ever see me out there in Tampa, show some love. Come up there, say holla at me. Shake some hand, rub some elbows.
Yeah.
You see me out in the club, hey, I'll buy you a little drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm good peoples. At the same time, don't let the exterior scare you. I'm good people. So at the end of the day, man, again, I would like to thank JR for inviting me to his platform. And, we could talk about any and everything, but, we only got a short little segment.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we better get my son out here so he can introduce my son to the world and on his platform, and then we'll go from there.
Definitely, man. We're gonna bring you back. We're gonna bring your son back. And this, what I wanted to do is just spotlight what you're doing now and initially where you came from, because a lot of my audience is the kids, and the kids now have options. They could be a barber, they could be a deputy sheriff, they could be an entrepreneur. You could do it all, or you could do it all in one person and be that person.
True.
Don't just do one thing. You could do it all. So that's what I want. And thank you guys for coming. And my quote for today is, "You never know who's naked until the tide comes in." And I say that is because you never know who you can trust. I want to say that I trust Jay a lot, and I love you, and I care for you, and thank you for being there when I couldn't speak up for myself. You know what I'm saying? I heard the conversations, I heard the whispers, and I thank you because you know already who I was, who I am authentically, And thank you for just having my back. And thank you for coming to my show.
No,
Thank
absolutely,
you, bro. I
man.
appreciate you.
Pickable, I just put them bookers in my chain. Pickable, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Pickable, 7.62s.
I'm the best at your job, the best recruiter. It makes them so mad when they go home. I bet it does. And I can say it with a smile on my face because I was that soldier. You never gave me an opportunity to excel. I'm going to excel so hard that my name ring bells that you would have said, you're going to have to say, that was my soldier one day. That was. What happened then? Why are you here and he there? Because you tried to stunt my growth. So I would tell you guys just continue to grow. You're going to upset a lot of the seniors, but the way I hear y'all division and y'all company, y'all brass love you guys. I talk to y'all brass, Turcotte, your commander, all of them, Turcotte and all of them. They love you guys. Y'all are leading the way. So long as you do numbers and stay within the regs, they're gonna keep putting y'all in a position to win and just keep winning.